YouTube. Hold up. They saying El Mencho was set up by a female. Nah. There's no way. You telling me let me get this straight. Drug kingpin of the cartel. You're his wife and you're not moving right? That's crazy. You're the wife of the cartel kingpin and you are not moving correct. Wild. Anyways, we about to get this information. Hold up. Shit all wrong. Here we go. We about to get this information right now. There we go. I had to straighten some things, so we about to get right into it.
Trapmore gang, the violence is unfortunately
Trap Lord Ross.
Try.
Come on. What Trap Lord Ross got to say?
continuing in Mexico after the assassination of cartel leader El Mencho. The streets are still burning in Mexico. There's reports now that as many as 60 plus people have actually lost their lives fighting with the cartels since El Mencho's death. And in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit of the backstory about how he actually ended up getting caught up. And they're saying that he might have gotten backdoored by a female. He might have actually ended up getting set up.
Damn, it don't matter whether you in the United States, you in Mexico, you anywhere in the world. A girl always gonna be the end of you if you trust her with everything.
Because a romantic partner, let's just say that. I don't want to say anything disrespectful about the cartels, but it's very, very sad. It's very interesting to see that, you know, these cartel leaders, they're going through the same thing we hear about with these Chicago gangsters, people getting backdoored, set up, a meeting with a female.
It don't matter who you are. It don't matter how big you are. Everybody is the same person. It don't matter. It don't matter who you are.
That can lead to your death, whether it's in the streets of Chicago, whether it's in the heights of the cartel business in Mexico. So I'm going to break that all down to you in this video. But firstly, I want to just play you some of the news about the escalating death toll with this violence that's followed El Mencho's assassination. Because as we're seeing here, just a day ago, the BBC were reporting over 62 people had actually died in the fallout that occurred after the assassination. Check this out.
Authorities in Mexico say at least 62 people have been killed following a wave of violence that broke out after the killing of the country's most wanted man. El Mencho, the leader of the new Jalisco New Generation cartel, died after being captured by Mexican special forces on Sunday.
Bro, how long you think you're finna be alive if you got $15 million on your head? Not just any average person. Like, governments want you dead. Like, bro, this isn't no joke. And apparently he was at some resort, just chilling, having fun. Maybe I got that information wrong. I don't know.
To help bolster security across the country following a wave of reprisal attacks. The government has ordered civilians to stay indoors as violent unrest spread to popular tourist destinations such as Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara.
I did hear about Guadalajara.
Sent this report from the city of Guadalajara, which in 4 months is set to host the Football World Cup.
Fuck no, the World Cup is not going there. I can almost guarantee you $1 million. The cartel is not. I said the cartel. The World Cup, not one soccer team is trying to go up. I mean Brazil. Brazil's already dangerous. Feel me? But like shit, I'm telling nigga, Messi and Ronaldo is not coming here. I'm telling you that right now. Like the highest paid people, they are not going to be allowed by that organization to come to Mexico.
In the hours after their leader was killed, foot soldiers of the Jalisco New Generation cartel, the most powerful drug gang in Mexico, went on the rampage, burning cars, blocking roads, spreading fear. Incidents were registered in 20 of Mexico's 32 states, the cartel present in every corner of the country. And this is the man whose killing prompted such violence. Nemesio Oseguera, better known as El Mencho, the petty drug dealer who rose to become the most wanted man in Mexico with a $15 million reward on his head. For Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, the victory lap over El Mencho was tempered by the violence unfolding on the streets, but she insisted normality was returning.
Today there is more calm, and there is government, there are armed forces, there is a security cabinet, and there is a lot of coordination. So you can rest assured that peace, security, and normality in the country are being safeguarded.
No, the fuck you can't. Bro, the cartel leader just died. Oh, once one leader gets back in power or back shit organized, bro, they finna start killing government members. And shit, I hope not. Of course. But shit, this shit not looking good. No cap.
But look, they're trying to get a handle of the situation. The BBC were reporting yesterday that over 62 people have died. However, there are unofficial sources, especially on Reddit, that are basically saying the death toll could be much, much higher, and things have really just remained out of control. This is an update on Reddit r/Mexico, and basically here we're going to join r/Mexico. It says Mexico drug cartel war update: 75 dead, 70 arrested, 35 army members and 25 cartel members are dead. Now, is that mathing? I think it might not.
75 dead, 35 and 25. Bro, are you dumb? Bro, are you actually dumb? Bro, 35 plus 25 is 60. Bro, don't listen to niggas on Reddit, bro.
But basically, it says here, according to the latest data from Tuesday, February the 24th, 2026, 75 dead, 70 arrested, 35, that'd be the arrests, 35 members of the army and 25 members of the cartel, probably some innocent people in there too. And, we were hearing it could have been as many as 100 people that had lost their lives in this. As of today, the situation in Puerto
I think it's probably I think it's probably 1 to 200 at this point. That's just my
calm
opinion.
Significantly after Sunday's retaliatory violence following El Mencho's death. Roadblocks are mostly cleared, restaurants opening, and no tourist deaths have been reported. Now, that if the tourists start dying, Mexico's going to be in a terminal decline. Okay, I'm not saying that it's okay that anybody's lost their lives, but if the Mexican president's worried about one thing, it's about tourists losing their lives in this just crazy situation. It says PVR.
Yeah, they don't want the tourists to stop coming there and spending money, but at the end of the day, everybody's life matters. Like, you feel me? It don't matter. Like, shit, stop killing niggas.
Airport is open. Flights have resumed. Many airlines operating today, some with modified schedules. Check your airline directly. The U.S. Embassy is still urging shelter in place in Puerto Vallarta and Jalisco. Minimize movement and monitor local authorities. Okay, now the comments are in Spanish, so I can't read those. But basically, we've had new updates from Mexico's Secretary of Defense, and he's basically shared more details about the actual takedown itself that involved El Mencho's romantic partner, the backdooring from a female. And there's quite a lot to this, so I'm going to react to this long video, and I'm going to kind of break it down and give you some more context as we go. But this is...
And right here is where we're going to pause. Let me actually move real quick. So, if you don't know me, or if you don't know why they call me Big Ripper, this is why they call me, this is why I named myself Big Ripper. First, you're gonna take your green goodness. If you don't know what's in the jar, you shouldn't need to know. After that, you're going to fill this up. And when it's full, it's big ripping time. That's about it. There's not much else that needs to be said. Cheers. Let's get back to this video. That shit was supposed to start. Anyways.
Crazy how it all went down.
Well, regarding the operation that was carried out yesterday, by way of background, I can tell you that Ruben N., also known as El Mencho, head of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, began his involvement in drug trafficking in the 1990s in Michoacan as a member of the Valencia Group or the Millennium Cartel.
Oh, so you've been in this for a minute.
Since that time, he has already started to be considered a significant target. Subsequently, in May 2016, the United States added him to its list of most wanted fugitives, and he was wanted by a court in the Western District of Texas.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
So bear in mind, right, this guy really rose up the ranks from the...
Yeah, okay, I didn't know. So he really did rise the ranks. He really climbed that bitch. He wanted to be leader, and he became that shit. No cap. Okay.
Cartel from,
Respect.
you know, as they said in
From
that
me?
BBC report, a petty drug dealer to becoming literally the head of one of the most powerful and feared, if not the most feared, cartel in the whole country. We talked previously about how the Sinaloa cartel maybe was a little bit more about their business, and El Mencho's crew were, I mean, I spoke about it in a previous video, they were engaging in acts of cannibalism, they were completely militarized. They're probably the most fearsome group in...
In acts of what?
So they were engaging in acts of cannibalism, they...
Yo.
were completely militarized.
That's
They're probably the most fearsome group in the country.
What the fuck?
And the fact that he came from nothing, from humble beginnings to the very top, is impressive. But as he said, you know, he was getting warrants issued for him in Texas.
Crazy.
They were moving drugs through America. He was on the radar of the Americans, and unfortunately, that's when you really are running out of time. When the Americans lock in on you, there's not really too much to be said after that. It's really a matter of when, not if.
In August 2018, the Attorney General's office offered a reward of 30 million pesos for information leading to the capture of El Mencho. In December 2024, the United States government offered $15 million for information leading to the capture of this individual.
Wow. Damn.
With Central Military Intelligence and additional information from the Institute.
So that means that just recently 2 major cartel leaders have been taken out. The last one that the U.S. just kidnapped a few months ago, illegally, I'm pretty sure, and now this one. That's crazy.
Of the Security Cabinet, as well as from United States institutions, the Secretariat of National Defense tracked El Mencho's network of connections until the conditions were right to plan an operation for his arrest.
Damn.
As you all know very well, the intelligence process is very complicated and requires a lot of time. It requires gathering a great deal of information, many data points, and numerous clues from various sources, both national and international. Mexico has agreements, even with other countries and organizations such as Interpol and Europol, among others. We, as the armed forces, have greatly strengthened our relationship with the United States Northern Command, and that exchange of information is extremely important. On February 20th, through Central Military Intelligence Operations, a trusted associate of one of Mencho's romantic partners was located, who transported her to a facility in the town of Tapalpa, Jalisco.
Wait, go back.
Military Intelligence Operations, a trusted associate of one of Mencho's romantic partners was located, who transported her to a facility in the town. On February 20th, partners was located, who transported her to a facility in the town of Tapalpa.
Okay, so one of his lovers was
Mencho's romantic partners was located, who transported her to a facility in.
One of his romantic partners was located, and so they followed her back to Mencho's?
The town of Tapalpa, Jalisco.
So basically, they located a trusted confidant of El Mencho's, and it was connected to the partner. I want to play that again, right? A trusted one of his basically a trusted associates of one of his romantic partners was connected to him. Now, once they get your location, once the Americans get onto you, doesn't matter whether it's a woman, but it just goes to show you how human these guys are. Yeah, he's the biggest, baddest cartel leader in the world. They're engaging in acts of cannibalism. They're a fully militarized force that are shooting down Mexican military helicopters. I'm not trying to disrespect. The guy's got a nut, you know. The guy's got to have his romantic partners, and unfortunately, these interpersonal relationships, like any normal person.
Yeah, hold on. Now I'm here to hear more of this. I'm not going to lie to you.
A facility in the town of Tapalpa, Jalisco. At that location, this romantic partner met with Mencho, and on February 21st, she left the property and information was obtained that Mencho, he remained at that location.
So she went to visit him at a property on the 21st of February.
I'm not I'm not understanding whether she supposedly set him up or did they just follow her and then figure out where he's sleeping and where he's staying. Because if they figured it out and they follow her, that's one thing. She ain't set him up. Because if she set him up, that's even putting that out there. She finna die. The whole cartel finna go after her. Like they finna be questioning her. It's over.
She left the property and then information was basically obtained. They didn't necessarily say it was gotten directly from her, but they didn't deny that either. But
nah, they didn't deny it because you didn't ask them. You can't say that. You got to take it for what they told you.
That, you know, it's something this simple as him meeting up with they said romantic partner. We don't know if it's his wife, girlfriend. I don't know what El Metro had going on. Okay, they were engaging in acts of cannibalism, so he could have had all sorts of crazy shit going on. But
Facts.
That was his undoing. It's crazy.
He remained at that location. He stayed there with a security circle. On the same February 21st, the operation planning was carried out. It is doctrinal, it is an axiom of military operations that are conducted. For those carried out by the armed forces around the world, the one who executes the operation must be the one to plan it. In this case, it was the Special Forces personnel and the Immediate Reaction Special Force personnel of the National Guard who planned the operation.
Does that mean the Mexico National Guard? Don't say the U.S. did this.
Now, it's interesting, right? Because he's basically saying, look, if the authority that is actually going to go and carry out this operation is actually going to go in there and do it, they have to plan it. I think what he's actually saying there, reading between the lines, is he's kind of taken a bit of the heat off the Americans, because I know there was a lot of anger. They were saying, oh, you know, we're going to take American hostages because the Americans played a role in this. Now, we're going to touch on it in a little bit more detail in a minute, but, like, there's a lot of rumors that...
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, we not reacting to all 30 minutes. Cause shit, it's been 20 minutes, damn near. How y'all feel about Mencho? Me personally, I got people in my life that struggle with drug addiction. So shit, I can't just say fuck him though, because at the end of the day, there's always gonna be a new leader. Always gonna be somebody else selling the drugs. And you also gotta remember, the person buying them drugs is buying them for a reason. You feel me? At the end of the day, drugs is gonna get into this world. And at the end of the day, somebody who wants drugs is gonna use them. One cartel leader down, another one coming soon.